our second baseman, and I just lost it. That whole top of that half inning, I had tears coming down my face, and but it was good. I had my first hit that game. I hit a double, actually landed on top of the berm there at Crosley, and you know, that was a big shot for me. So it was a good tribute. It was good for the family.
And certainly our condolences to you and your wife, who have handled, certainly no parent should ever have to go through a situation like that, but you guys have certainly handled it as well as anyone could have. And I'm sure, you know, every time you're out on the field, out on the mound, you have that with you.
You know, I've taken those cleats back home. They now, I actually ordered a brand new pair, same, everything customized and everything like that. I wore them for one half an inning, and now they're put up in a special shoe case. But since then, every time I get on the mound, people might see me talking to myself, and I'm not really talking to myself. I'm having a conversation with Bryant, and ever since I started doing that, I started pitching a lot better.
No, that's great. We're certainly thank you for sharing that story. I'm sure that isn't tough to share that with those of us out there, but we're certainly glad to share that with us, and certainly our condolences again for the situation that you and your wife have handled so gracefully. And you know, switching gears, I don't want to you know, switch over too much here, but we get to look forward to tomorrow. You and I are going to play each other tomorrow afternoon, and we'd be remiss if we at least didn't talk about that before we let you go. Doubleheader for you guys tomorrow. Long day, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day. It's always fun when we play the Yankees. I like playing against you. Like I said, we've had that long history from playing together with the Braves in that first World Series. It's always a lot of fun. I mean, we have a tough task with having to play the Bulls. You know, I don't know if Brothers is back or not, but that's always one that you know, we look at it on the schedule as like, oh, that's going to be a tough game.
Always a tough one. It's going to be a long day for us, too. We play the second game. We play the Reds the first game. We play you guys the second game. So it's going to be a long, hot day for both teams. But look forward to getting out there and seeing you tomorrow. And, hey, good luck to the Yankees, right?
Yeah, good luck to the Braves, too.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck, Scott.
You're still out of town, aren't you, Ray? So you won't be playing with the Colts tomorrow, right?
No, I'm unfortunately I'm going to be out. I'm going to miss the doubleheader tomorrow, so I'll be back for Wednesday's game, but I'm out tomorrow.
Ray's going to play a doubleheader with the Helena Mustangs tomorrow out in Montana tomorrow afternoon after we're done.
Yeah. The Bears are the second game.
There you go. Well, Scott, thanks for joining us on the Hot Corner. This is usually this part where I say good luck tomorrow, but I'm not going to tell. You know what? I'm going to say good luck against the Bulls. How about that? We'll split it 50-50. Good luck against the Bulls tomorrow, Scott.
I'll take that, and then hopefully it's a good game, that second game.
Absolutely. If you'd like to be on the Hot Corner or know someone who might, please let us know. As Scott did there, he let us know he wanted to be on the Hot Corner, and certainly enjoyed having him on here this week. And looking at the week ahead, a lot of good games on the schedule tomorrow. In fact, 3 doubleheaders coming up on June the 30th. We won't play, Ray, on July the 3rd because that's typically hard to get guys out for, especially right around the 4th of July. We take that off, although there will be 2 games, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. We'll get to those after the Sunday games, but we'll start first with the games tomorrow, and a couple of games out at North College Hill. The first one, your Colt 45s are going to be out there taking on the Brewers at 9:30, and then once they're done with that, the 45s will welcome in the Stings. The Sting will make the short drive over from Finneytown. And, Ray, you're out of town. Hopefully, Colt's able to get some more guys out there. I know 9 guys at both games last week.
Yeah, I think we got a few guys, a couple guys back from that had to take some time off. I had to go out, I think, on vacation, a couple of family things going on. So hopefully they'll have everybody there. From what I saw in the text, it looks like we will. So I'm with my brothers there, even though I'm not there playing. You know, I'm going to definitely be texting and trying to see how we do. Hopefully we'll double dip there and take both of those tomorrow. So good luck, guys.
2 other teams playing split doubleheaders. I'll go ahead and get both of these out of the way here. The Yankees take on the Reds in the early game at 9:30 at Sycamore. Once we're done with that, we'll welcome the Dayton Braves in for a makeup game from April 28th, a game that got rained out. So the Yankees get the Reds and Braves back-to-back. The Braves coming over to Sycamore after they play the early morning game at Schuler against the Bulls at 10 o'clock. It'll be a 10 o'clock start on that one. So essentially, the Reds and Braves will just trade spots. So those are your 3 doubleheaders tomorrow. 6 teams, each playing split doubleheaders. So it should be an interesting morning. Chance to pick up some ground for all of those ball clubs. For the single games, I'll let you start out with these, Ray, out of Franklin.
Yeah, out at Franklin, we got 10 a.m. We got the Tigers and the Knights going. Knights coming off the big win this week, and we'll see how they come out and do against the Tigers there. Another game at 10 o'clock. We have. I noticed that the field has changed, and so the game starts at 10 at Deer Park, and the Dragons and the Mudcats will go at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, this game was originally going to be at Springboro. At Springboro, Coach Pelfrey requires an 11 o'clock start, which is fine. We don't mind doing that, especially when it's a Dayton versus Cincinnati game. The field became unavailable. I think they had a youth tournament makeup or something, so we had to bang the game at Sycamore, but we did have availability at Deer Park, so we just went ahead and moved the game there, and we bumped it back to a 10 a.m. start. So plenty of time for the Mudcats to come down, play the 10 a.m. game, and I know some of those guys do play in the over 40 and 50 league, so it gives them some time to get to their afternoon game as well.
I'll let you go ahead and take on the next one at McNick, it looks like there.
Yeah, looks like the Meridians and the Hustle. That's always a good matchup between two of the better ball clubs in the league. Meridians coming off that tough loss against the Hooks last week, but they bounced back with a win over the Dodgers. And speaking of bouncing back, the Hustle, after giving up a 19 spot last Sunday, they came back with a 6-3 win over the Tigers, so they'll look to make it 2 in a row. Out at Loveland, the Hooks try to stay perfect. They'll take on the Flying Tigers. That game a 9:30 start. Flying Tigers coming off that tie game the other night against the Mudcats. Kind of a bizarre ending in that ball game, so they'll look to get off to a good start and try to upset the Hooks. Good game out at Heritage Park right tomorrow. Looks like Orioles and Expos.
Yeah, that one's going to go. Isn't that'd be a replay of earlier on in the season? Didn't they play tough game early on first week or two?
I think they did. I think they had a scrimmage game against one another. They may have been rained out when they did play, but that should be a good game. I looked at that as, potential game of the week type game, just because it's going to be a close matchup. You can see a couple of teams with some younger guys in there trying to make that jump to the next level. So I look for that to be a pretty good game tomorrow. Out of Foundation, you've got a good one there, Ray, between Suds and Dodgers.
That's a potential game of the week for me right there. That's going to be a good game. It's always tough to play the Dodgers at Foundation, as we say, and you're going up against the Suds. That could be a good game right there. I want to see what comes out there. Suds, struggling a little bit. See if they come off the schneid there against the Dodgers out there at Foundation. See what happens there.
Should be a good game. That takes care of all 13 games on Sunday. Now, we mentioned most of the league is going to be off this week on July 3rd, but due to the rainouts, we did have 4 teams that showed an interest in squeezing the game in. They said they could get enough players to do it, and on Tuesday night, we're going to have the Sting taking on the Expos. That game's going to be out at Finneytown. Shao told me both teams have 10 players, and hopefully nobody gets hurt, ejected, or worse, so hopefully they get that ball game in. A rematch from early in the season, a game in which the Expos actually beat the Sting by a final score of 4-1. And the last game of the week will be on Wednesday. That'll be between the Suds and the Hooks. That, Ray, always a good matchup. These teams have a lot of history.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. I may actually try to make it out to one of those games. Maybe even make it out to the Hooks game there, since we don't play that night. I don't know if you're busy. Maybe we can do a little short podcast or something, maybe out there or whatever.
Yeah.
Just do a little
live
thing,
live broadcast from the field. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
It should be a good matchup. So we should decide then on. We have 15 candidates. Game of the week. Who do we like this week? It was easy last week since we were playing each other.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the. I might have to go with the Suds and the Hooks. I think I might go with that one. That'd be a good game. The Suds, especially like we talked about, if they turn that light on, that could be a good game to turn that light on. So I'm gonna stick with the Suds and the Hooks for this week.
Okay, you're going to go with that one for your game of the week. I'm going to go with the Meridians and the Hustle. I'm interested to see how this game turns out. Meridians have been pretty darn good so far. They had that upset loss to the Reds early, but they've been rolling ever since, other than that hiccup against the Hooks there, which they almost pulled off the upset. Curious to see how the Hustle bounced back after the tough loss to the Sting. They did get a win over the Tigers Wednesday. I think this one will tell us a little bit more about where the Hustle are this year. It's been an uncharacteristically tough start for the Hustle. I think they're 3-4 on the season. So we'll see where the Hustle are. It's going to be a good matchup for them taking on the Meridians. 2 teams with good pitching, good defense, tough to score on. I'm going to go with that one for the game of the week. So there's your 2 games of the week. That's the 2 we're going to keep an eye on, and we'll definitely be reporting on next week.
Yeah, those 2 definitely good games. Thanks again for listening. Appreciate it. Keep the comments coming. Thank you for Scott joining on the Hot Corner. Also want to welcome in our sponsor, McFall Law Firm. We really appreciate that. So hopefully we can bring on a few other sponsors, but glad to add that one on there as we head into week 9. So keep it going. We love it. And I would say, Jason, take us out.
All right. Sounds good, Ray. That's going to wrap it up for this week, week 9 of the podcast. You can follow us on Spreaker.com. You'll find us on iTunes. Like us on Facebook. Check out the League's website at www.CincyABL.com. You can check us out on many different platforms. Ray has us pretty much everywhere right now. Hope you'll join us again next week for the next episode of the Two Cutoff Men. Until then, for Scott Jones and Ray Sterling, I'm Jason Earhart saying thanks for listening.
Thank God for the fans. Thank God for the fans.